He has his son that took over his practice that he's still involved 4 half days. He's still back here on fire, ready to deliver a message. Let's give it up for Dr. Hardick. Come on out, sir. Come on.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. First thing I want to say is, Billy, thank you for inviting me to speak on this stage of yours. This is an invitation that I do not and will not take lightly. I'd like to say thank you to Steve, who just gave us a great, powerful talk. Steve Judson and I have been speakers on a few venues before together, and he gave nothing less than I would expect of him. He's a powerful DE guy, and he brings it on, and thank you, Steve. We appreciate you. Thanks to Steve Judson, everybody. Kevin Jackson, are you here in the auditorium? Can I see you? Stand up. Hey, Kevin. So Kevin was supposed to speak before me today, and this is a little weird that I would thank him for speaking, but as I speak today about the message that I want to deliver, you'll understand why Kevin's speaking tomorrow, and I thank you, Kevin, for bringing on the message, bringing the principle to this auditorium. Chiropractic needs the Steve Judsons and the Kevin Jacksons of the world. Kevin is married to Dr. Sigafus's daughter, Selena. How would you like to have Sigafus for a father-in-law? How would you like that? I would say this, Kevin. I was in Sig's company many, many, many times, and the reason I'm singling you out is I would say thank you to you for continuing the legacy of Sigafus that has crafted so many of us and been the mentor for so many of the leaders in this profession. I know that Sig was very proud of all his kids, and including you. He told me that many times. I thank you for continuing the legacy. Thank you, brother. I was with Dr. Sigafus less than a year after he got the big idea, less than a year after he got the message. Now, those were some glorious days in chiropractic. So glorious that in 1969, the American Medical Association decided to target chiropractic as its #1 target at their annual quackery convention in Chicago, Illinois in 1969. Now, a lot of people think that would be not a good thing, but obviously it was a good thing because chiropractic was really making some waves and was really roaring in the 50s and 60s, so much so that the AMA felt they should target us. We haven't exactly gone uphill since then. So I think it's time we start going back uphill and we become a target. We become a threat to the outside-in model. It's not helping anybody. It's proven it doesn't work. If it worked, we wouldn't be here. If it worked, those patients that Dr. Judson was telling you about that were coming to his office, they wouldn't be coming into his office. They'd be better. So I want to tell you a story. I want to tell you a story about 1973. I had been to Parker seminars. I had been to see Dr. Sigafus. I had been down to Thomasville, where he practiced before then. I had been to see Reggie Gold. I had been to see Sid Williams, and I had been to see Wes Trout and others. And I went to a Parker seminar in the fall of 1973 at the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami Beach. And that was 45 years ago. And I went into a small room that night, and I sat there, and I watched, and I listened to Dr. Jim Sigafus. And something came over me that night. Something came over me that made me feel different. Made me feel different than I'd ever felt before. And when he got done speaking, I said to my friend Dave Artis, who went down there with me from Toronto, I said, I'm going home. He said, what do you mean you're going home? I said, I got it. So I got it. I got to go home. I'm leaving. So I went to my room. I called the airport. There was a flight flying out in about an hour. I changed my reservation over the phone. I called the front desk, said, send me the bill. And I charged it up to my suitcase, threw everything in my suitcase. Artis is running around beside me saying, well, what'd he say? What'd he say? What'd he say? I said, well, you were sitting there. You heard the same thing as me. I got it. I'm going home. So I went home. I went down to the front. We got a cab. I said, how long to get to the airport? He says, oh, man, it's Friday night in Miami. It'll take an hour. I said, here's $50. You got to get me there in 20 minutes. And I left. And I can tell you that I still think about driving home in the middle of the night. It was 3 in the morning, and I was coming up over this hill, coming into my town, and something felt different about me. And that's what inspired my talk today here at CalJam, is what happened to me that Friday night.